Just got to say one thing, West Ham have actually signed a decent player. Before we start the stream. So, welcome back to F1 League of South Africa. We are racing around, technically I think it's called the Miami Gardens Circuit, around the Hard Rock Cafe Stadium in Miami. There was a bit of controversy last time out. With a lot of things happening. We only had 9 finishes in the end, I'm pretty sure, and Trey has left the session. So, hopefully he can get back in for qualifying. Miami is another street circuit on the calendar and should provide even more of a spectacle. And we got rain. Now, it's only light, which means it could dry out over the course of the session. So, this could be a very interesting qualifying session, Alice. Who is joining me once again?
Yeah, hi everyone. Glad to be back. And rain in Q1.
Have we got full qualifying?
I thought it was meant to be short qualifying, but that looks to me like it's full qualifying.
Okay.
So, this will be interesting. There's one of the Mercedes now goes out. I'm on Xbox. I'm on Xbox. Yeah, I know.
So we have full qualifying, which means adds a bit more of a spice. So we're going to treat this as if people are going out in Q1. So that bottom 5 is crucial. Because you don't want to be in that, because it means you'll have to wait at least another 40 minutes, probably, for the race, which could put you way out of sync of the other drivers. At the moment, Di Van is top because of race number order. So hopefully he can stay there, because he needs a good race. As do quite a few drivers in this league. There's last week's controversy, Alice, was the restart at the start and whether it should have restarted or why it didn't restart. Actually, I think we've got the calls on the restart. Today is the yellow flag and set to 2. I think that's just a slow car. So,
Interestingly enough, it doesn't appear to be wet enough for the intermediates. Everyone's going out on softs.
Or maybe it's because it's only just started raining. But there's a lot of puddles on track right now. As the first person over the line is, wide to start his lap in the Mercedes car. So I don't know if it's supposed to be full qualifying, but we'll find out. Unless it's just what it says on the screen now. But we'll soon find out whether it's full qualifying or not, which means we'll have a bit of extra time today around the Miami circuit than we'd usually have on other circuits. A little bit offsetting is the Red Bull helmet, or the Verstappen helmet, in the Mercedes car. But I've seen it enough in career mode this game, so...
Yeah, it is short qualifying. I just checked the settings.
Okay, so it's just a visual issue.
Yes.
So we're on board with Elo Wired in the Mercedes. Needing a good round, it has to be said. There's a couple trying inters, a few are trying the intermediates. It looks a bit too wet for slicks, it has to be said.
I don't know, Elo Wire's keeping his car under wraps for now. He's got good control over the car at the moment.
He's got the Williams to deal with here, so maybe first person over the line will get pole here. So
maybe.
So we'll keep an eye on the wide. He's going to have a nice tow from the Williams, which I think is Afrodox, or is it
Afrodox. He's gonna get held. Oh no, that's not Afrodox. It's Andre.
It's Andre. So through the left-hander. And now to the line, Elo wide. This looks okay, but I think the title tumble as...
Andre was on the lap, actually. I didn't realise.
Oh. So Elo wide with a 34.4. Will we see anyone go faster than that? Next will be a Red Bull, and it will be
it's Fori.
who's trialing it
Oh.
on the softs as well. So we'll see where he can put his Red Bull car. As it stands,
Maybe-
the slicks are not. We don't know whether the slicks are working or not. We'll look for the tyres.
Equally-
Jones, Perignon, and Boomroker going for a 4E36.2. So maybe Elo Wire's called it perfectly here. He's up on his time again, by half a second.
Well,
Whitwolf to second.
it does appear. Oh no, it's still light rain. So maybe as we've got White Wolf.
Carnboy. Humidifier goes up to first. That's on the slicks as well. All Azure goes to the top. That's satisfying lap time. 33.333. I mean, I use it in my career mode because it is one of the nicest helmets you can pick from to use in your My Team cars. Both Haas's go side by side for a moment there.
You're just not setting up your helmets right, Harry.
So we currently haven't had any laps. So Boomroker's going for the intermediates. So we'll keep an eye on him to see if he goes any faster than the slick runners, which I think could happen. Because look at the surface, Alice. It looks very wet.
He could, but he's also. I don't really know whether he's messing up or not because he's just lagging all over the place for me.
He's really revving out those gears. So I'm interested to see where he can put his Alpine. There's a lot of drivers in that 35 and 36 mark, but the lead driver right now is Azure, who's reserving today. He's gone P1 ahead of Humidifier, who's one of the favourites for pole. And we've currently got Melts and Franz in the pit, so maybe it is...
He's gone up to P4.
34.8, so he joins the 34 club.
Boomroker set a 36.66, so he's not too far off diving on those intermediates. But I don't think he'll be seeing a lot of improvement as the session progresses.
It's still raining though, so maybe it is going to get wetter, but although there are a few in the pits who haven't decided to go out straight away, which gives me the incentive that...
Andre is a couple of tenths up on his lap at the moment.
That's on the softs, so we'll keep an eye on the Williams. But one thing we do know is Afrodox, who was in the big fight for the win in Baku, then bottled it late on. He will start towards the back today, so got a lot of work to do around this Miami circuit. So where can Andre go and put his Williams car? He's a 36.3 right now. He looks like he's going to improve, and he does up to 5th of the 35 flat. Now the times are improving, so my guess is that it is slicks. But we'll find out with Jones Perignon.
It's a tough call for everyone, I think.
Jones Perignon's equipped the intermediate, so is Elo Wired. So maybe running early on is the key. So Azure looking very good right now, but Jones Perignon is now starting his lap time.
I wonder if the decision by Elo Wired and Jones Perignon
influence the others.
I wonder if
Elo Wired's
got a time. We might be looking at a wet race here. I wonder if they're just trying to get some intermediate practice in.
Maybe. James
Because if the track is only going to get wetter, it's not
Carnboy,
time
sorry for interrupting you, Ellis. Carnboy saying in T1 Drivers Lounge, saying the track conditions are so weird. So that tells me it's like the crossover point between the softs and the inters. So we don't really know which is the fastest, but at the moment the soft tyres are seeming the best right now.
Absolutely, we've got a bit of a traffic queue forming here, heading down the back straight.
I'm keeping an eye on the lap of Jones Perignon.
It always confuses me when a track has 3 definitive straights. What's classed as the back straight?
Straight true. But we haven't seen any of the McLarens yet in this session, so that tells me that the track's drying up towards the end.
Meltz was out on track for a bit, but then he bailed out into the pit lane at the end of his lap.
Keep following Jones Perignon in the Red Bull. Love that name, Jones. It's one of the best names I've seen in league racing. So Jones Perignon for the final corner. Yeah.
No, thanks, Jones.
Jones Perignon having a bit of a wobble through the exit there. It's a 35.6. That's the fastest lap we've seen on the Inters. So it is very close to tell, but I think the softs are currently the better tyre. But that could soon change.
I'm going to go on board with Elo Wyatt here, because he's the highest placed runner who has opted to move over to the intermediate, so we'll see what his lap time is looking like.
He's only slightly down, actually, so maybe it is very similar, but it's not quite. I reckon Azur's called it perfectly here. That's a hard time to beat. As Humidifier, we didn't really pay attention, but he's putting in some good lap times. It's a 33.5. He's only 2 tenths off of Azur, so we'll soon find out. As Elo Wyatt is only 200ths off of his personal best on the soft tyre.
And if we can remember, he did get held up a little bit into the final corner by Andre. So there could be an improvement coming here.
Well, that time
but he goes a little bit deep, has to really crank on the steering there. Coming into the final corners now and he's bailing into the pits.
Yeah, so it's such a weird situation. And Andre's saying it's still raining, but less, so it will dry out, which is probably why we haven't seen Franz until now on the track. Obviously, winner last time out, took home a good recovery drive win. And
in controversial circumstances, it must be said.
Yeah, but the win stuck because of desync, which was proved. So, Franz looking to try and extend his championship lead. Sets third attempt trying to win this championship. He was close last year. Maybe he can go for it this year. No Chris, remember, so we're going to have a new winner this season no matter what, unless Fori does a repeat and take it back from Chris. But Franz starting his lap now. Oh, Venom Terror is round at the final corner, and he's caught it, but he's very slow. So, I don't know what these conditions are, but Aphrodox will definitely be starting on the back row of the grid, unless there's disqualifications, as Trey is now on track and he'll be wanting to put a lap together, and he's looking decent through the first sector. And the other Haas is out on track as well, as you're trying to improve his lap time. It's such a weird position to be in, because what tyre is the best?
Well, you know, we're seeing a bit of a mix, haven't we?
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest qualifying sessions I've seen in league racing for a while. As Azir goes purple in the first sector, a tenth better than
his half a second up on his lap at the moment on the soft tyres. As he comes into the final corner now, really nicely done there for Fori. He's going to get the power down on the run up to the line, and it's going to be
up to
34-1.
So the softs are definitely improving, so maybe by the end of the session we could have someone completely different on top of this session.
Here comes Franz, only a 37-1. Trey now up to the line in his Alfa Romeo. Where does he go? Up to P6.
See, that's better from Trey compared to a couple.
Azure is 3 tenths up on his lap at the moment. Coming out of the final corner now. I guess it's the final corner technically. Gets the power down across the line. It's a 32.9.
Yeah, Azure looking unstoppable right now. But maybe it's because it's like Azure is like a kind of the same colour as the not the tarmac, but just, you know, the kind of blue around the track and in a different language, you know. So maybe it's all coming together as we only have 7
Elo Wired.
Oh, he was round. He was round in the fast right-hander, and he must have had contact. And he's now going to try his best to keep out the way.
So that is not good then, as Franz now is almost 2 seconds up on his lap. But will it be enough?
At the moment, it's going to be a 35-1. It put him 6th place, but it didn't seem nice competitive. Franz will definitely be trying to push for the top 5 here. Where can he put his McLaren car as he comes through the final part of the track? It looks good for Franz. It's only a 34.5. So he needs to find some time here because the top 2 look in a different league right now. Everyone coming into the pits. Snotcop to the line. 13th for him.
So I think Boombroker is going to be the first set of these on an out lap to start a lap, so I guess we'll follow him round for a lap.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
he is lagging all over the place. That's just going to make it so confusing.
So we'll look at White Walker then, who's behind him. He hasn't got a lap time just yet.
Very awkward, tricky braking zone in turn 1, I find.
Yeah, especially in these conditions. These are the hardest
on
conditions on the game, obviously. Yeah, it's crazy.
This is another sector where you just on this year's game you cannot clip the curbs, otherwise they will just gobble you up.
You can a
little bit of the exit curb out of, I believe it's like turn 6 or 7.
So White Walker then, looking to try and get a lap time on the board. It's looked fairly hooked up so far on this lap, and it needs to be decent.
Something we've not really picked up on in this session is, has DRS been active the whole session?
No, I have no idea. But it is active.
Oh, bloody hell. White Walker using first gear.
Get a flag and set the free. That's a slow Red Bull. Trying to get out of the way. I believe that will be Fourie or Jones.
Fourie?
Fourie's later in the lap, I think. Yeah, so it is Fourie. As everyone else is on an out lap. So these are the laps that count. So White Walker through the final corner. That looks very good, actually, from the Alfa Romeo driver. As he's going to try and come up to the line, see where he can improve. He's not going to be on pole, but he'll get a lap time on the board. It's P9. So
just ahead of his teammate.
He'll be happy with that. One person who is... So next will be a Ferrari. I believe that will be Iron Lan. No, it won't be. It'll be his teammate. Not Nats up to 3rd. That is... So times are improving. As Not Nats finds himself into the top 3. What about Iron Lan? Can he improve up into the top 10? Yes, he can. He goes 5th. So the times are going to tumble here, Ellis.
Fourie is just over a second up on his lap at the moment. So he's going
up to the line. He's just starting a lap. He improved by 7/10 though. Next, Melts starting a lap.
Fourie coming out of the final corner now. Gets the power down. Big wobble there for Fourie in the Red Bull. But he still continues to run up to the line. Is it pole? It is pole with a 32.153.
Track is improving. I'm following Jones Perignon for some reason because I thought he was next on a lap, but it was Fourie, so that's my bad. One person needs to improve. Azure is in the pit. Azure is not going to improve.
No, Snotcop up to the line. It's P2 for Snotcop there.
So we can
great
have
jump for the AlphaTauri driver.
We got an interesting order today as Carnboy goes to pole.
Mercedes driver finding some pace here.
What about White Walker, who's up by 2 seconds? So can White Walker even fight for pole here? He put himself up to 8th last time. White Walker to the line. Where can he put his Alfa Romeo car? He does go 4th. He goes ahead of Azure. But there's one person who's on a lap who we know can rise in these conditions, and that's Humidifier.
Boombroker.
Jones Perignon goes to pole.
Jones. It's then going to be Not Nats up to the line. Only P5 for Not Nats. Then it's going to be Whitwolf actually, I think.
Whitwolf great qualifier.
Here comes Iron Lan.
Up to 4. What about Humid? He's down to 10th right now. He's struggling through the middle sector, it has to be said.
Melts up to the line now. What will it be for the McLaren driver? It's pole!
This is a great grid.
But still other cars yet to set a lap. Divan is invalid. It's then going to be Venom. It's going to be Venom.
3.2 seconds. Venom Terror then. Can he improve? He must do in these conditions. So to the line for the harsh driver. His teammate couldn't get on. He goes ahead of his
P10.
teammate. Humidifier with 29.1. That is impressive. Fori then, nowhere near. Calmboy, nowhere near. What about Trey, who goes up to the front row? And that is a brilliant qualifying, as no one else would improve here.
Some heavy hitters struggling in that session then. Azure, Elo Wired and Franz, 3 of them.
Yeah, if this was full qualifying, we would not see Franz, and that would be an absolute shocker. And it's so hard to keep track of what happened there, because Humidifier destroyed the competition right at the end, but we had Melts on pole ahead of Jones, Perignon and Andre. But what a top 10 we've got. Both AlphaTauris, who had some struggles in Baku and Bahrain. So they make a return to form. Whitwolf putting into the top 10. Not Nats went to pole for a moment. It was such a good session. And if the race has anything to show, this could be... This could be impressive. Humid. The problem with that is because everyone was improving everywhere to the point where we couldn't keep up with the lap times. We saw the end of your lap though. So, great pole position. It has to be said for you. But us in the commentary box, we couldn't really keep up with what was going on. I don't think anyone in the cars could keep up with what's going on. But there's an Alpine on pole of Humidifier. So he'll be looking to go one better in the race. He missed out in Baku, obviously. Oh, he drifted through turn 3. Wow. If you can try and... I'm pretty sure you've got a stream somewhere, or you usually stream your races from what I know. If you can provide a clip of that, that'd be brilliant to watch. So, this could be a very good race. Yeah, cheers, Humid. I'll definitely look at that later on. Oh, look at the weather, Ellis.
Oh.
Cheers,
Oh,
Humid.
Ironland retired?
Migrating host. So, is there a restart? Because I'm pretty sure we call them now. Do we not call them?
I don't know. Let me have a look.
Ah.
Oh, safety car was off.
Yeah. Yep, so the restart is necessary this time. We've actually got a restart. This has the capacity to be one of the best races we see in EFR. Not EFR. That's died. Right, cool. It was full wet. This could be a class race. As we wait for the session to get up again, we've got so many fast drivers at the back of the field. Franz would have been knocked out if it was Q1, Q2, Q3. So,
Yeah, thank you, Andre.
Thank you, Andre. We appreciate it. I'm trying to suggest do very wet to wet for vibes. You know, we need some vibes.
I'll go for my controller batteries low.
So, Ellis, I think this is a perfect time to make some predictions while we're in a little intermission. Who's going to win this race?
Sorry.
I think this is a perfect time to make some predictions while we're in the intermission. Who wins this race?
Oof, winning the race. Bloody hell. I mean, could be anyone in the soaking wet. We know Azure had good pace in the wet. Elo
Yeah, but
Wyatt
he
had
only
good pace in the
qualified
wet.
down in the bottom half of the field.
Yeah, but again, at the end of he wasn't there at the end of the session, was he? He wasn't in the drive.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in the garage.
We should be underway shortly. Oh, one thing I forgot is Elo Wide's penalty. Whitwolf said, I thought it was full quality, so he only used one set of softs. Oh, that's unlucky, mate. Louis said, Andre might be in the fight for the win in the rain. I'm here and I'm all for it. You know, like a surprise winner. I'm all for it. So as long as we have some entertainment, I am fine. I just realised I haven't followed the League of South Africa page, so I'm going to follow and congratulate myself for following. Um, so
F1
thanks
conspiracy
to
theories.
Harry Bartram for
Yeah.
following the F1 League of South Africa. There we go. Forgot to do it.
Sorry, I've just seen something horrendous.
It's not Man United to wake it, is it?
No.
Oh no, they signed for United.
There you go, Harry. That's what I found absolutely outrageous.
No, not going to watch that while commentating because I will laugh and get myself cancelled. So James Trafford to Burnley. Not Amadou Onana. Don't know his first name. He's joined Man United.
Andre
A lot
Onana.
Yeah, that's him. A lot going on in the world of football. We signed a wonder kid, so. Oh, Matt Doherty's returned to Wolves.
Yeah. James Trafford has also signed for Burnley.
Yeah, I saw that. Nakamba's back to Luton. I can't say that name because I'll get the league taken down. Can't be having that. Nothing else happened. But Burnley going in this transfer window, has to be said. Dara O'Shea is a brilliant player. Underrated. Oh, itchy nose. So he should be underway shortly. I am hoping for a great race. You always get great races in this league. We hadn't had one single bad one for a long while. Has to be said. Bahrain was a brilliant strategical race for the fight for the win. We had no DNFs. Baku was the complete opposite. We had 11 DNFs where Franz won, which meant Franz is leading, and now we've got a wet race in Miami. Like it's it's all very very interesting. So this is definitely a chance for someone like Andre or Jones Perignon or Not Nats to try and um take a surprise win here. And we're about to go racing in Miami. This would be a perfect time to play a Will Smith song if copyright wasn't a thing. So, cheers, Will Smith. So, who is going to win in Miami is the big question. Will France continue his increase his championship lead? Will Humidifier get back on track in the championship after a tough race in Bahrain? All things considered, although he did a good recovery and missing out in Baku. We don't have scars today, so anything can happen. But France being 16th on the grid is not going to help his cause to try and take a win today. Getting caught out in trouble. Remember, this could be the race we see some red flags because of the weather, and I'm all for it. As we are loading up, and it's light rain. It's lighter than before, so let's just make sure everyone is on the inters. Yes, they are. So we've only got 19.
Right. They've at least got the weather right.
We've only got 19 in.
19?
Yeah, we've only got 19 drivers. Who are we missing? Right, so we've got both Alpines, both Alfa Romeos, we got both McLarens, we got Meltzer's in third, we got both Red Bulls, we've got...
Oh, it's Carnboy, is it?
Both Williams.
It's Carnboy.
Yeah, we're missing Carnboy. Where's Carnboy gone?
Well, if they gave him an allotted time to get into the lobby, then it's
yeah,
just
good
unfortunate.
Qualified from what I remember.
Yeah, he was like 7th, I think.
Oh, he got kicked from the lobby.
God, really?
What are we doing? Oh, that's unlucky. Are we calling that a mechanical retirement? Because I think to be consistent, unfortunately, Khan, we didn't restart for White Walker. He got disqualified for no fault of his own. So just for a matter of consistency, I don't think we can restart. Are we going to 5 lights already? Oh, we go green in Miami, as it's a good start for Humidifier, and Trey does get to squirrely start, as so does everyone on the field. Humidifier slides into someone and round goes Melt. And it's a pile-up, and that has got to be a safety car, as 2 AlphaTauris getting caught up in that after their brilliant qualifying. Melt's drops to 6th, Andre is up into 3rd, as Humidifier ahead of Trey, ahead of Andre. Then Fori in 4th ahead of Venom. Terrible good start. Melt's having a shocker, which caused all the chaos behind. And then Not Nats, and then Afrodox is up into 8th from the start. after such a poor qualifying, he is now running in 8th place, and he's got the pub with Azure in the Haas behind him. He's going to try and get a good run on the straight to try and get past Afrodox, who had such good pace. But as we see on Afrodox's car, he hasn't got an end plate, so he will be struggling in the wet as Azure does go through up into 8th place. One person who also got caught up in that incident was Franz, who couldn't avoid Snotcop and Whitwolf. But does Franz have damage? He doesn't. And after that start, Humidifier's gotten away as Venom Terror's gone round.
That's a VSC.
Yeah. No front wing there for Venom Terror. And he'll have to box at the end of this lap. As a bit of a chaotic start there. I didn't expect to go in straight away. I expected a formation lap, it has to be said, as Venom Terror getting all in the way of people here. And this is really bad news for Franz.
What's he doing?
What's happened?
Venom Terror just ran to the back of Snotcop and then, like... What?
Snotcop have any damage?
Right, he's just overtaken Snotcop.
If anyone's
he's trying to tell him to hurry up? I don't really understand what's...
Can someone clip that? What happened, please?
I just did. I clipped the first bit, and I'll clip the second bit as well.
Divan up into 12th. So many drivers pitting. Elo Wired, White Walker, Jones Perignon, you must have got caught up, Venom Terror, Snotcop, and Afrodox, all coming into the pits. So the top three, Humidifier, Trey, and Andre, all benefiting massively from this virtual safety car. As Forey found himself into 4th. Meltz, who got away very lucky after that start, as Afrodox has a drive-through penalty, and that is unlucky. I think he just exited the pits as well, as he's fighting Snotcop for 13th place, as they are side by side through into the left-hander, and Snotcop does very well to defend there. But through goes Afrodox up into 13th place, but now Snotcop's going to have to defend from Jones Perignon. And it's all kicked off a little bit here, Ellis, as we got Ironland who's going deep, and he's off track, so I think he'll have to let Whitwolf in the AlphaTauri go through. We will find himself into the top 10 for another time. He needs to get some points on the board. For AlphaTauri, he has a massive slide through the slow chicane, and I feel like this is going to be a common occurrence throughout this race.
Absolutely, I think we could be seeing a move maybe from Forey on Andre here down to the final corner. No, Andre does well just to keep him from, but Andre goes deep, which might allow Forey to get the better exit. But Andre, with the straighter run, gets a quicker acceleration.
Andre doing well in
going around into Ironland.
He was struggling in Sector 2, and he's gone straight on. So, nightmare there as Franz goes and gets the fastest lap of the race, which was pretty soon by Whitwolf, and Divan's got it now. So, I think Afrodox will take it as Divan wobbles.
Bloody hell, Divan.
Die Fun. It's Die Fun.
Yeah.
Azure making some good progress after getting unlucky in qualifying. He's had the best pace and he's had a wobble there. But he's done well to keep the car in a straight line for the Haas. And now he's going to try and close up to the back of Meltz in the McLaren. But Andre's doing very well to hold on to the podium places as Trey and Humid have gapped him. But Humid's gapped the whole field by about 4 seconds. As I think the fight in this race will be for P2 at the moment. As P2 and P3, as Trey's doing his best to maintain a gap to Andre. But Humid is just running off into the distance. But behind is just all a bit chaotic, as Azure is going to try and make an impact, but behind there he's got Kai Fuser in the Aston Martin trying to get close to Notnats in the Ferrari.
9 different constructors in the top 10.
It's crazy, isn't it? As Franz is going to try and get the better of Whitwolf, as Franz goes to the inside, as Whitwolf makes a mistake, and is Franz going to get the move done? Yes, he does. He's still side by side with Whitwolf, and Whitwolf has to lift as Franz is up into 9th place and
As
trying to
one
make a
McLaren
recovery from.
gains, the other loses.
Well, as Azure gets past Melts.
Yes.
So
You're showing that pace he was showing in at the start of qualifying. He's definitely on a charge here, and if he can clear Fori and Andre quickly, I don't think it'll be too long before he gets onto the back of Trey. But coming out of that long left-hander, he got a bit of a slide on there.
So Azure and Humidifier really turning on the heat today, as they have clearly the fastest 2 on track right now, as Humidifier's now got a 5-second gap out front to Trey, and then a further 3 seconds to Andre. So Azure is going to want to try and get ahead of Fori and Andre as soon as possible, so he can go and try and chase after Trey. He's incredibly close to the wall there, was Azure, as his teammate makes a move on Jones Perignon for 13th place. But Jones is going to try and come back at the pass. No, he's not. He's going to think better of it. But down this main straight, we're going to see Azure try and close in on Fori. He's trying to close in on Andre, and he's going to try and make a move into the final corner. It's a yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is an Alfa Romeo who's round. That is White Walker. As Azure is almost pushing Fori through this corner. And the dirt, yeah, it's not going to help anything. And that allows Melts to try and stay with this battle. As Azure is going to think about a move. Is he? No, he's not. He's going to think better of that, as Andre's doing very well to keep his 3rd place for the time being.
So, Fori doing a good job at conserving his ERS here. He's in the middle of 2 cars. You'd expect him to be burning it a bit quicker, but he's got the most out of the 3.
That will help him in the long run. But Fori is still stuck behind the Williams, which getting stuck behind a Williams is a very common theme in real life right now. So, but he's got the DRS, and he's going to have the advantage here. Is Fori? Is he going to try and get past LSA Andre in Sector 2?
As we've got, I believe his boom broker is round. Yeah. And he gets it turned around, but I think there's damage to his front end plate.
That allows Ironland to improve up to 17th place. There's now 10 seconds to 4th for Humidifier, which is pretty crazy. But Fori's a lot closer to the back of Andre, who's now flashing on. Yeah, no, he's not. It's the rain light.
It's the rain light.
Yeah, it's Fori going to make the move here. He's got more ERS. He doesn't have the better straight line speed, it seems. He's going to go tail on the inside, and he improves up into the podium places as Andre is going to fight this one. But that will only allow Azure to try and capitalise on that. And he is going to get the better traction, but Andre is doing a brilliant job here. He's going to try and keep hold of 3rd place, but he has to let him lift. And Azure's going to try and make it 2 overtakes in the space of a straight and a turn 1 here, as Azure tries to go side by side with Fori, but Fori gets the move done and keeps hold of 3rd place. He almost... Oh, but Andre, he's got a very good run here on the back of Azure. This is a great battle for between these 3, as Fori takes 3rd, Azure takes 4th, and Andre has lost 2 positions in a sector.
Whilst that was all going on, the Aston Martin of Kaifusa gets through on not mats.
Yeah, so lots of improvements in the field right now, as Azure
and Fori side by side.
Down the straight, it looks like they're still going to fight this one into the corner. And I think Azure's done it, but look at Andre. Andre, he's got both of them. Oh,
he's got wide. Horrendously deep there, really outbroke himself. It was reckless by Andre as well.
And now here goes Melts. Melts gets it done.
I don't want to take anything away from what Andre did there, but it was reckless. He tore through the middle of Fori and Azure, and did make a little bit of contact with Fori. Boomroker has left. I hope his plan was that he was going to retire in the pits first, because if not, then
well, it's unfortunate.
Side by side between the Red Bull and the AlphaTauri of Snotcop and Jones. And Snotcop gets the move done. But now it's time for
Aphrodite has to cut the corner,
Aphrodite.
and he gets a 3-second time penalty, which is rightfully so. At least they're being consistent with track limits. So Aphrodite not having the best
now
races.
going down the inside on Andre. There's a bit of contact there.
Andre losing positions left, front and centre.
He has to save fuel.
Yellow flag and sector 1. That is an Alpha, not Alpha tag. That is an Aston Martin. Stop clock has 5 seconds.
Gets penalty for speeding in the pit lane now. I think we'll be seeing a lot of them. The pit lane entry here is very tricky.
Kaifuz is going to try and get a run on Andre, and he's got the better straight line speed he has here. As Franz is going to try and want to get involved in this as well. As we're going to look on the onboard of Franz to see what's going to happen here. White Walker with a 3-second penalty. As Kaifusa goes to the inside, a little bit of wheel banging there. There definitely was contact, but now look at Franz. He's going to try and go around the outside of Andre, who's losing positions everywhere around this track as Franz gets up into 7th place. Kaifusa up into 6th. So this is getting... We're starting to see the faster drivers get towards the front now.
The flag sector 1, I believe it was Snotcott.
One thing though, Trey has started to turn on the heat a bit. He's not losing as much time to humid as we usually see. Whereas this year it's not really gaining. So, but it's Boom Roker out.
Kaifusa went very deep at the final hairpin there, and Franz is going to find his way through. Really squeezed Kaifusa there to the inside.
He's now behind his teammate as Kaifusa thinks about it. Kaifusa's going to think about getting a run through this twisty first sector here in Miami. Oh, get a flag in sector 1. That is Boom Roker's car. So he will get a qualifying ban for next week for retiring. And the pits, was a bit of a wobble there for Kaifusa, who tried to get on the power a little bit too early, which means that Andre will have to try and get involved. But this will invite Notnats into this little party. He's only 8 tenths behind, and kind of got under the radar here, Notnats. So he's running well in P9. Trey doing a brilliant job in 2nd, has to be said. Closest battle on track is the one for 7th place, as Andre is wanting to try and get back ahead of Kaifusa. After having such a good start to the race, Andre has just fallen off a cliff in terms of pace, and that allows Notnats into this fight. As Notnats is now closest to Andre, and now Notnats is going to use the RS, and he's actually going to go for a move on this straight, I think. Here goes Notnats in the Ferrari. He's going to try to pull to the left-hand side to try and get ahead of the Williams, and into the final corner. Notnats is going to make the move, but they're still side by side. Late braking from Andre, and that will maybe keep him in the position here as he gets forced to the curb. Does Notnats. He has to lift off to try and avoid a spin or contact with the Williams. So Andre keeps position for another lap.
Trey's left.
Now, Azure is going to have to try and quickly gain on Trey and get ahead while he's not in the session. So this is an important stage of the race here for Azure, who's 10 seconds behind.
Oh!
Massive crash, Kaifusa, Notnats, and Franz as a safety car. And this could be upgraded to a red flag, you know. If we're going to see a red flag in this league, this could be the time. As Kaifusa's out, and Franz definitely got damage from that. Notnats definitely got damage.
I don't know what happened, but Franz, I invited Trey back, and then next thing I know, I see is Franz and Kaifusa are interlocked, and then Notnats just comes out of nowhere and pile drives them.
I thought we almost had a red flag there because it slightly went red on the safety car screen. So as a safety car, this means I think everyone will box to try and come in for a stop to try and get rid of them old inters for the time being.
Yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't box under this safety car. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! White
That was
Walker
close
just
for Humidifier.
straight into the side of Humidifier.
Did Humidifier get damage?
I don't know. Not Nats gets a drive through.
Oh, this could happen to a lot of cars here. Humidifier pits, so does this year. Trey's going to carry on, so Trey will take the lead, but he's not in the session right now, I don't think. So Trey leads a lap, at least, in this league at the moment. Everyone's going to box here. Andre was going very slow, so he's going to have to fix his front wing. I don't know what happened to Whitwell found himself up into 7th because of all that. So I don't know whether he will gain places in the pits or if he's got damage or not. So everyone's dropping places. Whitwolf doesn't have to replace his front wing. That's great news for the AlphaTauri, as he's going to have to wait. I don't know why he's waiting. Here we go. Whitwolf is going to gain some places here. He goes up into 6th place, and he will be absolutely delighted with that. So Whitwolf going very well in this race now. Trey is the safety car leader. Humidifier in 2nd ahead of Azure. This is a brilliant opportunity for Azure to try and take back what looked like his qualifying session, which just fell apart because of how the track improved right at the end. But this is a chance for Azure to try and rectify his qualifying, as he's now going to be fighting Humidifier and Trey for this race win. Afrodoc's not making any progress in this race, it has to be said. I thought he would have done a lot better, but I'd like to see what happened again there. Kaifusa, I didn't. It kind of all just happened, and I just saw everything happen very late, which is unfortunate. But if you can give me a description of what happened in the chat, please, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what happened, Kaifusa. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Because you were doing really well. You were looking for some good points. So we've got 19 laps to go in this race. Trey's going to come round and come in, so he's going to lose loads of places. Which is unfortunate. Whitwolf is going to be up to 5th. Oh, so okay, that looks like that will definitely be looked at the stewards then. So Fran's involved in another incident, as from Kaifusa's point of view, he's saying Franz went wide. Kaifusa passed him, but he battled into a fast corner and hit his front tyre. So from your point of view, it's Franz's fault. It will be looked at by the stewards. So it's not got with a penalty. That's unfortunate, Kaifusa. You're running well, and you had some good pace today. Just sometimes it don't go your way. That's league racing though. That's why we love it and hate it at the same time. Hope to see you next week. This happens, you know. So as you. Yeah, it will be looked at by the stewards. It'd probably be looked at, seen as rejoining unsafely, to be totally honest. Oh, there's a car on the side of the road. That's Snotcop, who's been disqualified.
What?
Yeah.
Somebody just ran into the back of someone. I swear I just saw something fly off. Yeah, Melts has got damage.
Melts in 4th. So he must have hit the back of Fori, which means Whitwolf has got another position. Whitwolf was in the fight for the podium here. And this is brilliant. Come on, Whitwolf. I'm repping you today. The AlphaTauri boys. Franz has gained out of that, but he could be looking at a penalty. You know, why? Trying to make a recovery. He's usually higher up. Ironland trying to improve as Trey's rejoined, but considering he boxed later than the others, he's not done too bad to be up into 6th. Well, this means now Andre doesn't have to save fuel. As Dive Fun is into the pits. So only 6 people watching the stream today, which is unfortunate. It's waiting for the safety car to come in. I think it'll be next lap as we wait for White Walker and Divan to catch up. Trey has dropped positions. He must have had a mistake there. So he's got no front wing.
Yeah, he's got no front wing.
What is happening on the streets of Miami today is there's a slow car, James Perignon, letting him back through, and the safety car's in this lap.
Like, no offense to these guys, but do they just not know basic safety car racing etiquette?
Last time I raced under a safety car in real life, or yellows, I crashed. So
yeah, we know. But you are you.
Yeah. Underneath the tyre barrier.
Right then, when does Humidifier go?
Has he already gone? Or is he going to go late here? Oh, big wheel spin there. So Azure's going to try and capitalise on that unfortunate restart for a Humidifier. But Humidifier seems to do an okay job. It's traced into the pits as we thought he'd be. But Whitwolf is going to try and go around the outside of Fori, trying to look for a podium place here in this race. And we knew this weather could open up some opportunities, and Whitwolf has taken every single one of them right now. Fori not getting the best of restart. But one person who has got a good restart is Brand, who's up into 6th place, ahead of Jones, Perignon and Nilo Wired. Afrodox is now up into the points, but he's got a penalty.
Something I've realised with Humidifier, he's got to save fuel. Humidifier is going to have to save fuel in this race, which is going to allow Azure to probably take the lead away from him in the not too distant future.
So Azure looking odds on to win this race unless there's an incident between the two, where we could see a different winner this season. Humidifier, well, obviously neither Humidifier or Azure have won a race this season, because the first 2 races were won by Scars, who's not racing, and Franz, who's down in 6th and looking at a penalty. So this race could end in a different way. I'd love 3 different winners in 3 different races.
Humidifier takes to the inside line to defend. He moves back across the track.
He's used a lot more ERS than this year as well. Azure getting very close to the back of Humidifier, who's lifting and coasting. Actually, you can tell he's lifting and coasting.
Oh, Azure just cannot get the power down there. Big sliding. And Franz now on the outside of Andre. Around the outside goes the McLaren car on the Williams.
Oh, that looked a bit sketch towards the wall. Very close to the wall.
Melt's making a move. His teammate Meltz is making a move now up the inside on Jones Perignon. Jones is going to fight it though. Does Jones look for the switchback? He thinks about it, but in the end, he has to settle in behind.
Jones is one of the faster drivers in this league who's never had a podium. So, he'll be wanting to get one of them later on. He's never had a podium, but he's always been in the top 10.
Or Sterling Moss.
Yeah. That's more Nico Hulkenberg.
Yeah. Nico Hulkenberg is just the worst Sterling Moss.
Yeah. And James Perignon is the worst Nico Hulkenberg. But we'll ignore that bit. I'm sorry, James, if you're listening. You'll
Here
get
comes
that podium
Dive
eventually.
Van on Jones here.
He's going to try to go around the outside. That's lovely. Azure for second. So now it's thanks to Humid. Unless Fori can try and get some pace on.
I think Humidifier knows that Azure is going to be pushing. Azure is pushing using all of his ERS here.
He's going to make the move here.
Goes to the inside to defend.
Azure around the outside. They nearly make contact. He's going to be forced all the way to the wall. And there's a little bit of bumping tyres.
No,
that was close to the wall there.
There was no tyre bumping.
Here goes Azure down the inside. There's
there was tyre bumping.
See, Humid just taking the racing line there, it has to be said, but this is really getting feisty as they're still making contact, it has to be said. But Azure gets it, and now he's ahead of Humid, and now he's going to have to try and run up the road to try and get a gap of 3 seconds, as Humid is not going to let this go lightly. As he's going to try and take the position back, and he might have an opportunity to do that. Down the straight, he's got a little bit more ERS, but he didn't get a good enough exit, but he's going to have to burn all this ERS to get back in front. Trey's gone.
Trey is out.
Hits.
I think that's in the pits though.
Humid thinking about it around the outside.
Looks to the outside, late braking.
Azure showing them slams the door. Now it would have been a crazy move if he pulled that off for Humid, but he's near enough.
Poor line for Humid there.
Yeah, so he's not going to get. I don't think he's going to get the opportunity down the straight now, because it's nearly a second gap between the two. So Azure's going to try and run off into the distance here, as Whitwolf has been passed by Franz in all of that, but Whitwolf is going to try and stay with him, but he's burning all of his ERS. None of these drivers have any ERS.
The two Williams cars are side by side at the moment. Andre and Aphrodite, I think. Andre is backed off to allow his teammate through.
See, a lot of team play going on at Williams, has to be said, in this league right now. And I'm happy to see that that teammates are working well together, because we don't usually see it in league racing, let's be honest.
Well, yeah.
So I hope Williams do very well. Same with Whitwolf, who's doing brilliantly up in 5th after a tough start to season for AlphaTauri.
Yeah. Obviously, Snotcop getting the DSQ isn't ideal. The Whitwolf is flying solo for this race. And, you know, Humidifier has not dropped away from Azure, as we might have thought.
I never expected him to drop away, because Humid and Azure are very equal on pace, it has to be said. But Humid has got less fuel, and he's thinking about the same move again, getting really close to the back of the Haas, nearly pushing him through this right-hander. So Humid's just got to get a good line, and I think he'll get him down the next straight.
Azure just has a much better line through that really slow section.
Yeah, he's almost using the kind of oversteer of the car to get through, and that's what needs to happen. But now Humid has used most of his ERS, so he's not going to get the benefit of it, compared to Azure, who's not even using it down the straight.
Well, to be fair, Humid wasn't either.
True, but he didn't have any in the first place to use. Wobble there for Azure.
Well, that was a wobble for Humid. Andre gets a 3 second now.
Franz is getting close to the back of Fori. So, what's going to happen for 3rd place? We've been focusing on the battle for the win. Now we're going to battle for the final podium spot, as Whitwolf is getting chased down by Elo Wide in the Mercedes. So Whitwolf's going to try and hold on to 5th place, but there's still another 12 laps to go. Anything can happen. Oh, Humid is getting close, and he's a lot closer this time to the back of Azure, who's using a little bit of ERS. But Humid, I have a feeling he's going to try and make a lunge around the outside a little bit more this time. He's a lot closer. He thinks about it. Opens up the corner.
Uses the rear locking there to get the car turned in.
Yeah.
I now know why Azure is getting a much better run through the middle section of the lap. Well, not the middle section, that slow section. Humid goes all the way down to first, which means he has to be so much more gentle applying the throttle. Azure can be a bit more aggressive because he leaves it in second.
So, it's getting very close again, Humid.
So, Humid has a thing for using first gear here, whereas Azure doesn't touch it. I guarantee turn 1, Azure will use, Humid will use first gear. No, I'll tell a lie. I forgot turn 1 wasn't the first.
Than Humid, actually. Humid was higher in the gears than Azure there.
Yeah.
Overtake being used here for Humid. It's kind of hit of a slow spot of the race. Where not much is happening, but it's really interesting strategically and in terms of ERS. And I think the reason why Humid's going all the way down to first is to try and save a little bit of fuel. But he's really close to the back of Azure this time.
Going to first
he's trying to
save fuel.
ERS, sorry. So he's got a little bit to fight with. And he's got a little bit more than Azure. He's not going to go for it here. He's not taking the wide line that we usually see from Humid through there.
Here you go then, look through this slow section. Azure keeps it in second, Humid goes to first. That could also be the thing, Azure is taking a much wider line on entry into the final corner before this long back straight, to allow himself the better exit.
Now the thing is, what will be more costly in this race? Azure's 3-second penalty or Humid's fuel situation?
I'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, we saw Franz was on the back of 4A. He's dropped away a little bit here.
Must have made a mistake. But Eli Wide is really close.
Here comes Melt in his McLaren, trying to get through on Venom Terror. Has he forced Venom a bit deep? No. Venom breaking quite nicely there, as they are now catching the back of Andre, who continues his struggle in this race. Elo Wyatt then also closing in on the back of the AlphaTauri of Whitwolf. Mercedes versus AlphaTauri, not something we've seen
much in real life.
Pretty, well yeah, it's pretty rare. The last time I can think was 2019 Brazil. It was the last time we had a proper fight between AlphaTauri and Mercedes.
I would say 21 Hungary. When Gasly got also... Oh, there's the move for the lead. And they're side by side through this part of the track where they've been so close before. Humid showing... There's contact! Oh, they're so close. Hard racing. This is what we love to see. But will Azure have enough to try and overtake him down the straight? I think this is just going to trade positions here. They're both using so much ERS here. They're both basically at none.
Well, they are both at none.
They are at none. And here goes Azure. He's going to make it to the inside. This is brilliant racing between the Haas and the Alpine for the race lead. Wobble! Oh, there's contact. They both crash. They crash. They've both got no front wing. And there's a safety car.
A safety car for that? Fucking hell, baby.
We knew there'd be sparks, and they come out just behind it, no? Yeah. They'll both be at the back. They'll both be at the back.
It's got the green. Oh, yeah, there you go. Now he's trying to overtake it. So this is going to put Fori in the lead, Franz second, Whitwolf is going to be third.
Whitwolf.
However, something of note, everyone behind Whitwolf is boxing for fresh intermediates.
So Elo wide, Aphrodux, Andre let back into this race. Now this is, I didn't expect this to happen. It looked like it was going to happen, but I didn't expect it to happen. Now I'm sure there'll be some flames later on in general chat.
Well,
but that's just hard racing
in that situation.
Azure,
and that's
you got
Azure.
a wobble. Yep, you got a wobble. Humid will be annoyed, but I think as long as Azure puts his hand up, that it was his fault. I don't think Humid will be that annoyed. Obviously, he'll be annoyed right now because you can see maybe the wind slipping through his fingers because he's going to drop so far behind. As Wide's going to have to try and catch up, but catch up pretty fast, which they might do, because they'll be slow on the straight they'll be faster on the straight. So they're going to drop to the back. Well, I don't think they'll drop to the back. They'll drop in between Daivan and Ironland. So Whitwolf is in a fight for a podium place here, unless they box. But the top two definitely will. Fori probably will. Franz looking in a good position to take some great points again. But Wide is now in a great position to win this race. So is Aphrodux. So is Andre. This has gone a bit crazy. So the race leaders colliding. We've seen this happen in real life quite a few times. 2021 was the year we saw it happen the most. They both box. Everyone else stays out. Fori leads ahead of France. Head of Whitwolf up into the podium places yet again. Elo wide in fourth, but is on fresher inters. Now the tyre, Azure and Humidifier have dropped so far. They're going to drop. They are going to drop behind Daivan. Now we've got an interesting end to the race on our hands here, as it's going to be like a 5-lap sprint to see who wins this race. Aphrodux and Andre a bit of a disadvantage, as well as Venom Terror, because of their penalties. But everyone else, Whitwolf is in a position to win, but Elo wide looking the best because of the tyre situation. Even Meltzer's got a great chance to get on the podium. But Fori leads from Franz, ahead of Whitwolf, and Franz will be investigated by the stewards, I'm sure, because of the incident with Kaifusa. So much can happen. Like, I still wouldn't rule out Humidifier, because if he gets a move on and makes some moves quickly, he's one of the quicker drivers. Him and Azure are the quickest drivers in this race. They can still be on the podium. This has gone. We haven't had a bad race in League of South Africa. So I'll stay out for another lap.
I reckon a minute, Harry.
Yeah, no problem. If you're still watching this stream and you're not racing, grab your popcorn, grab your snack, and watch the end of this race, because it is going to be entertaining as hell. We could have a new winner in this in this league in Whitwolf. We could have a new winner in the season of Fori. Franz will be investigated, so he could fall out of contention here. Elo Wide is on the pressure, is in the best position here to try and make improvements. Aphrodux and Andre have penalties, as well as Venom Terror. I'm eating grapes because that's my snack food right now. Notnat stayed out in P9. He's on 11 lap old inters. And it will be in this lap. And we're going to see an incredible end to the race. Franz is in another position to try and rectify a poor qualifying and probably a poor race. As we're going to wait to see when Fori will go. And he has gone. And Franz is really close to the back of him. And Whitwolf has even got a good restart as he gets ahead of Franz. As Whitwolf is up into second place. And now he's side by side with Elo wide. And Whitwolf is going to try and go for the race lead, but he goes wide. And he'll drop even further. And Afrodox is up into third. As he's going to try and chase after Franz and Fori as well. Side by side, Afrodox. Andre getting ahead of Whitwolf, who's dropping back on these old tyres. Melts is going to try and get involved here. Azure and Humidifier are still going at it for places with Dive On. Both of them getting ahead of Notnat. So the old tyres aren't working. But Azure and Dive On still fighting this one. Dive On has to let Humidifier go for it. As Humid and Azure come on track again as well. Humidifier's going to go at it. It's nearly 3 wide. Thinks about it. Humid through the middle. He's going to make contact with Whitwolf, who's dropping places like no tomorrow. Humid still side by side. And Azure and Humid are still going to be fighting this one, but for P8 and P9 instead of P1 and P2. Venom Terror up into 7th place. Franz is going to try and get close to Fori out front, but Elo Wyatt is also there, and he is in the best position to try and take the win today, because he can push on his tyres more than the others. Elo Wyatt getting so close to the back of Franz, but the Fab Fori says not going to hinder his chances, as Melts just goes side by side with Andre, as Azure and Humidify get ahead of Venom Terror, and Venom Terror tries to fight it with Humid, but Humid's up into 8th. Azure will probably be looking at a penalty for later on. Melts is up into 6th, and he nearly makes contact with Andre, but Elo Wyatt up into 2nd place as Franz has made a mistake, and he will drop down into 4th as Afrodox is up into the podium places. Now Elo Wyatt can push and try and chase after Fori, and this is a fight we've seen in Season 1 and Season 2, and this is just welcome back to F1 League of South Africa if you've not been watching. This has been a brilliant race. And we could see Fori or Elo Wyatt win this race. Afrodox is also there, who's made a brilliant amends in this race, and he's taking full advantage of the safety car right at the end of this. Franz is dropping off. Andre is going to think about trying to get past the McLaren, and there's about 5-6 cars covered by the space of nothing. That's nearly 4. It's 4 wide. As down the inside goes Azure, up into 4th place. Humidifier, how has there not been contact here? There probably has, but I haven't seen it. Nearly 3 wide. There's a bit of contact as Humidifier thinks that he gets really squeezed. But Azure up into 4th, Humidifier is recovering up into 5th, Andre 6th, Melts 7th ahead of Franz in 8th. And there's chaos happening. But out front, Elo Wyatt has got it ahead of Fori for the lead. As White Walker takes a 3-second time penalty. And now Afrodox is going to try and get ahead of Fori. So the newer tyre is proving to be the better tyre. As Afrodox is up into 2nd place if he can make the moves down the inside. Side by side, the Williams and the Red Bull. And now they can try and chase and go ahead. As Fori is going to hold up the Azure surely. As this race has just turned into chaos. And Elo Wyatt leads from Afrodox. Now Elo Wyatt could take a win here that nobody expected if he keeps it on the track. Oh, take a breather. But not for long, as Divan is going at it with Franz, and
Right, sorry about that.
it's gone to Chaos Ellis. Elo Wyatt now leads the race. Azure and Humid are recovering well. They've made contact about 27 times. As Humid goes wide to try and get a better exit and maybe get ahead of his old sparring partner in Azure's what caused the safety car. And Humid, this is going crazy, Alice. Humidifier's going to try and make it round the
Here
outside.
comes Aphrodox. At the lead of the race, Aphrodox to the outside of Elo Wyatt. Elo Wyatt covers him off on the inside. Great bit of defensive driving there. And then there's a big tussle behind. Azure's going to go through on Fori. Fori and Humidifier now side by side. I believe Fori's just about going to hold on.
Elo Wyatt gets the position back on Aphrodox, but Azure is now up into the podium places again, but he's got a penalty, and he'll probably get a penalty for the incident with Humid anyway. As Humidifier is going to try and make amends on Fori, but this has been a great recovery from Azure and Humidifier, who found themselves 11th and 12th on the restart. They are now up to 3rd and 5th as Aphrodox gets back past Elo Wyatt. This has been a brilliant battle since they've inherited the lead of the race. Aphrodox, he started at the back, could see himself winning this race if he can pull 3 seconds.
Obviously that is a very big if he can pull those 3 seconds, but what we've got to remember here, all Elo Wyatt has to do at the moment is just keep within range of that 3 seconds. Azure could even get in front of him, but so long as he keeps him in 3 seconds between those two guys, he's
I would not rule
in for
Humidifier out of winning this race still. This would be an impressive win if he can do it.
Absolutely. We've got Melts against Venom Terror going on further behind. Melts
Divan found
trying
himself
to...
up to the points ahead of Franz, may I just add.
Yeah, great. It's been quite a good race for Divan.
He's found himself in position. He's going to get past Melts.
Oh,
But he's almost
no.
lost it. Oh.
I think we move away from Divan.
So we go back to Humidifiers. A safety car.
For what?
Oh, this ruins Azure and Aphrodox. Aphrodox, who just pulled 1.5. You could. Oh, this could be another race win that comes away from him.
Not 2 Ferraris, yeah.
I think it might be Whitwolf.
No, it's not Whitwolf. I saw debris. Not. I think it's not that.
Yeah, I feel that as well. I played too. Just sit back and watch the rest. I think this is the most entertainment you'll get all week. So, Elo Wyatt's just got to sit back and hopefully win this race.
Yeah, it's not Nats. Not Nats calls the safety car. He is without a front wing.
Not Nats. Going to be screamed at probably by Aphrodox in chat. Aphrodox could see that race win. But it's just not going to happen, is it? He was so close in Baku, and it's just coming away from him again here in Miami. Oh, I can feel, I can understand what's going on. Miran, this is a league race. Sorry, dude. But I'm pretty sure there is a link somewhere. As not Nats and Whitwolf are into the pit, so Whitwolf could serve a penalty, it seems. Oh, we're gonna get like 2 laps of action. This is all gonna kick off again at us. Like, this might have topped the Baku race. It might have topped the Bahrain race.
I mean, this league just keeps on surprising us, doesn't it? I mean...
If you told me at the start of today that Elo Wyatt was going to win, he still might not win. He still might be human.
Don't count Humidifier out.
I'm not counting that Elo Wyatt will be in a fight for the win. I would have said no, he won't be. It'll be dominated by Franz or Humid. But the fact that Elo Wyatt is in the best position to try and take a win today is very good. And it would make it 3 different winners in 3 races, which is brilliant for a championship battle, as it is in this lap. That rule.
And then
Will the others catch up behind? So White Walker, that is not White Walker. Will
Afterbox
not
wants to get going.
clearly. He's got to try and make
Oh,
3
what's
seconds.
going on behind? Melts and Venom. And then, when does the Williams car go at the front of the field? The safety car does now pull in, and he's gone now.
That's exactly what he needed.
It's been a great start. Azure has really been caught lacking there. He's already 1.5 seconds behind.
That's brilliant for Afrodox. Now you just got to just firm it at the front, as he's got Elo Wired going to be in his mirrors, just trying to stay with him. Afrodox can definitely see a podium opportunity here today, but he's got to get on with it as Elo Wired makes somewhat of a mistake there, as Afrodox has just got to try and power through these last 2 laps, as Melts and Venom Terror are fighting this one out, as Venom Terror has been spun round by the McLaren, and he will drop down the positions as Daivan is back up into 9th place. As Franz tries to get ahead of his teammate, they're side by side, the 2 teammates for McLaren. Oh, this is getting so good. I don't know where to look.
Humid closing in on Azure here, and Elo White is beginning to get dropped by Afrodox.
That's what Afrodox needs.
I think Whitwolf might be close to making a move on Notnats here. Here comes the Alpha Tauri car then, gaining on the 2 Ferraris, who look like they're about to go side by side. Here goes Notnats then on the outside of Ironland. He gets the move done. What about Whitwolf? Whitwolf also goes to the outside of Ironland. Looking from the back of Notnats at the moment. There's a bit of contact between the 2. Notnats is very deep into the corner. Whitwolf and
Ironland needs to give that back. Yeah.
Whitwolf gets through.
Yeah. I'm going to say Ironland would need to give that back, because he did force him off track. But
Meanwhile then, Daivan is about to overtake Melts.
This is brilliant for Daivan. He's going to try and get up to 8th place. This is more points for the Aston Martin. And he's got it up into 8th place, but is Melts going to try and take it back into the final corner? Not quite. Afrodox has made a mistake though.
Jones. Final lap of the race. Afrodox has made a big mistake there. He's made a really big mistake by the looks of it.
Humid versus Azure for the final place on their podium on track. This has been an incredible race. I don't know how to recall it. I'll have to make a little bit of a debrief after this race. If there's a highlight reel, I think it would just have to be the whole VOD. But Afrodox has got put on the power. Yellow flag is set to 1. What has happened? That is Melts. And
Ironland's hit him, and Ironland's out.
Chaos on the final lap of the race. But what's happened to Humid? He's made a mistake. What about Azure? Is he going to try and get ahead of Elo Wired, who could still take the win here in Miami? But Azure's just going to sail past, surely, as Elo Wired's going to have to try and defend this. This is all perfect for Afrodox if these 2 keep fighting. As Azure gets up into 2nd place, but now Afrodox has got to zoom and try and gain 1.7 in the final couple of sectors on Elo Wired.
This isn't the big fight though. The big fight now is Elo Wired and Humidifier. Both don't have penalties. Humidifier though, struggling on fuel. He's really low on fuel. But he's got more ERS.
He's going to run out of fuel by the end of this race. They're going to go for it, you know. Afrodox has got 2 seconds on his year. But what about behind? Humidifier up into 3rd place. What about Elo Wired? They're still fighting this. This is perfect for Afrodox.
Oh, let's contact. Humidifier's going to win.
No, but Afrodox through the final corner. Has he done enough? He's got 2.2, but the winner is Humidifier here in Miami. Elo Wired will have to settle for 2nd place. This is brilliant. Afrodox takes the podium. Then Fori in 5th. Franz only 6th. Andre drops to 8th. So Daivan up into 7th place. This is great points for him. Notnats in 9th ahead of Jones. Whitwolf gets a point at the end of that. Jones Perignon just outside. Venom Terror's crashed. Melts through the final corner, and White Walker gets 13th. What a race! Humidifier takes it after everything that has happened. That is an absolute classic here in F1 League of South Africa. And I don't know what to say, but I just hope we get that next week. I hope we get it the week after. That is such a brilliant race. As Humidifier, after being involved in an incident with Azure, wins after all. Azure doesn't get a podium. Eli Wyatt was so close to the win. So close. As Aphrodox recovers from last to get a podium. Ellis, you're going to have to try and sum that up as well as I can, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. Daivan getting some good points in 7th, by the way. Adria has to settle for just outside the podium, but he might get looked at after the race. Fori will take 5th. Franz, who will get 6th, but he'll be looked at after the race for an incident earlier on as well, with the Aston Martin of Kai Fusa. Daivan could see himself jump up, maybe, to 4th place, depending on what happens. To 5th place, depending on what happens. Andrea will take 8th. Not that's in 9th. Had a Whitwolf in 10th. He was looking on for a podium at some points in this race. It just all fell away from him right at the end. Jose Perignon just outside the top 10 in 11th. Venom Terror in 12th. Had a White Walker, Melt, and Iron Land in 15th. That's the points. Trey and the rest of the retirements. Trey, Kaifusa, Boomraker, and Snotcop, who got very unlucky, it has to be said. Thank you for joining me, Alice. What a race, as Daivan puts perfectly in Tier 1 General.
It was just a mad race. Had a little bit of a dull at the end. Oh, not at the end, sorry. In the middle. But right at the very end, that heated up very quickly.
Yeah. The VOD will be reacted to in hopefully a good way today. But one thing I have seen, Azure owning up to the error. So everything is good. What a race! And the winner is Humidifier. We have 3 different winners in the first 3 races. So chaos as usual. Next week we will be in Imola, which is one of my favourite tracks, a classic track. As long as it's not like 1994, we should be good. But Humidifier is your winner today. But it could, Eli Wyatt was so close to that win. A elusive win this season. And if we get a new winner next week, I don't know what to call this season because it is so close. We will see you next time in Imola. Thank you for watching. 14 of you right at the end here. Which is crazy numbers. Humidifier going crazy in chat. That's something incredible. Thank you, Louis, for commenting on comments. It's a pleasure for me to commentate these races, as I'm pretty sure Ellis shares the same feeling. And we'll see you next time in Imola.
See you.